growth and service. Before we formally open our program, allow us first to read the data privacy statement. Pursuant to the Data Privacy Act of 2012 and its implementing rules and regulations, PWU values and considers the privacy and security of the personal information it collects, processes, and holds as a result and in relation to the leadership seminar. PWU as Unitarian shall also refer to its affiliate schools. For PWU to be able to process personal information for the leadership seminar, we will collect and process your submitted personal information in accordance with PWU's data privacy policy. Please visit and read PWU's data privacy policy at www.pwu.edu.ph/data privacy. For detailed information about data privacy rights, you may refer to the National Privacy Commission's webpage at privacy.gov.ph. If you have any questions about this forum, you contact PWU's Data Protection Officer by email at dpa@pwu.edu.ph or by phone number at 8526-8521 local 172. And now to formally open our program, may we invite everyone to please stand for our doxology. Let us bow our heads and reflect as we begin the seminar with a prayer.
Almighty God, we thank you for gathering us today for our Nursing Leadership Seminar. We ask for your guidance as we learn, share, and grow as future leaders. Bless our speakers, participants, and organizers that this event may inspire us to lead with wisdom, compassion, and integrity. May everything we do today bring honor to you and benefit those we serve. Amen.
Please remain standing as we continue with the singing of our national anthem.
Sa dagat at tunos, simoy na sa langit mo bukaw, ay ginagam tula, awis sa pagdayang minamahal, ang isang ng watawat mo'y nagmungkay na nakikinig, ang bituin at araw niya ay ang pamay pag-ibig, mga araw ng walharing pagsila, ulalilagit sa piling mo.
You may now all take your seats.
To officially welcome us all, may we call on the President of the Executive Committee of the School of Nursing to deliver the welcoming remarks.
Good morning, everyone. I am Sophia Margaret C. Empalmado, President of School of Nursing Executive Committee. And on behalf of the School of Nursing, I warmly welcome you all to our Nursing Leadership Seminar with the theme, Lead Smart, Feel Smart, Building Leaders from the Inside Out. This gathering is more than just an academic exercise. It is an opportunity to strengthen our competence in adaptive leadership, effective communication, and emotional intelligence. As future nursing leaders, you are all called not only to excel in clinical practice, but also to embody compassion, resilience, and integrity in every aspect of your profession. We are honored to have distinguished speakers with us today who will share their knowledge and experience to guide us in becoming leaders who inspire, empower, and serve. May this seminar ignite in each of you the passion to lead wisely, feel deeply, and act responsibly in the service of others. Once again, welcome, and may today's program be fruitful, meaningful for all. Thank you.
Thank you so much for those inspiring and heartfelt words. And now, we move on to the most anticipated part of our program.
It is our privilege and honor to introduce our distinguished keynote speaker, whose expertise and dedication continue to inspire many future nurses and healthcare professionals.
Our guest speaker for today is Assistant Professor L.E.A.D.E.R.S, Master of Arts in Nursing and Registered Nurse from the College of Nursing, University of the Philippines, Manila.
With more than 2 decades of dedicated service in nursing profession, she is widely recognized for her contributions in mental health and psychiatric nursing, both in clinical practice and nursing education.
Her professional journey began in the fields of neurology and psychiatry, where she developed a strong foundation in patient care, therapeutic communication, and compassionate leadership.
For the past 18 years, she has continued to shape mentor future nurses through teaching, mentorship, and servant leadership, inspiring students not only to become competent healthcare professionals, but also empathetic and resilient leaders.
Her expertise bridges both theory and practice across diverse areas such as child and geriatric psychiatry, forensic psychiatry, and psychosocial rehabilitation.
Beyond her impressive credentials and experiences, she continues to advocate for emotional intelligence, resilience, and compassionate leadership within the nursing profession.
And today, she will share her knowledge, experiences, and insights on leadership, guiding us on how to lead smart and feel smart as future nursing leaders.
So everyone, let us give our full attention and warmly welcome Assistant Professor L.E.A.D.E.R.S with a big round of applause.
Good morning. Thank you for the generous introduction. I am honored and humbled to be part of your leadership activities this year. And I'm happy to share with you some of my experiences as an educator, specializing in mental health, and also how important communication is in our daily nursing practice. So let's begin with the presentation, and should you have any questions, so we'll be free to share to you my email as well. So I'm tasked to deliver adaptive leadership and effective communication in nursing practice. And next slide, please. So just a little information to give you how I will be able to navigate through this topic is, of course, I'm a wife, I'm a mom, a nurse educator, and I have diverse clinical experiences in adult, child health, and community health. And also, I'm grounded in the concept of servant leadership, and I usually prioritize positive practice environment in the workplace and even in a classroom environment. And with this, I have a very strong commitment and belief that confidence must be nurtured not only in our conversations but also on how we do our work as nurses. So next, please. And just to guide me in this presentation, my experiences led me to be able to communicate well with other multidisciplinary teams, and also working with students, working with colleagues, and being able to reach out to different population groups allow me to give a good glimpse of how it must be different. Nurses must be communicating in all those areas. And I have been in the private institution and now working in a government institution, the differences in culture, academic priorities, and also how we exchange as professionals in a learning environment help me in creating this topic for you. So next, and I have not been holding a big leadership role, but I believe I've started from the ground by being able to work with students as a faculty advisor of student council, and then I move with organizing and coordinating with healthcare industries as the chair of career planning and student development, where I assist graduating students, senior nursing students, to be able to choose the right path for them and career for them after graduation. And I know you're already having that in mind, and you're thinking about your plans on what specialization you are thinking and investing your time in, right? And also, I have been able to establish our own ethics review committee in the institution where I previously worked, and I have started preparing all the materials, all the documents, and from being a member secretary to being the chair of the ethics review committee. So that in itself has enabled me to see all the patterns of behaviors, communication, exchanges that I will be needing to navigate my role in each task. And then also, I've shifted for 2 years in another industry where I work as clinical services manager, where I was working with international nurses who are specializing in flight travel nursing travel nursing, and that allowed me to have an exchange with international graduates, foreign nurses, and it allowed me to learn more on their culture and how we as Filipino nurses learn from them through their experiences. Next. And for this topic, I would like to give a concrete understanding on how adaptive leadership is timely and relevant, and how we can embrace it as nurses. So here are my learning objectives, and I hope that I'll be able to guide you as we go on. So next. And adaptive leadership is not a new term or not a new concept. It has been developed by Ronald Heifertz with Marty Linsky and Alexander Grasho in 2009 in Harvard Kennedy School. And they believe that this type of leadership is very important for all institutions, all organizations, and that help leaders survive a chaotic and rapidly changing environment. And this is a type of leadership where leaders must be flexible, being able to embrace change, and we know that. And I have noticed that from the time I have graduated, from the use of paper and pen for charting, and now to the use of electronic medical management systems or EMR, and how innovation has helped us to improve our nursing care. Next. And what are the key terms that you need to remember for adaptive leadership? So we have to recognize these 4 terms. The first one is technical challenges. These are expected obstacles that arise as part of operations. And these are the usual things, concerns, issues, healthcare problems that we encounter on a daily basis. For example, when we go to the unit, there are demanding patients, there are manipulative co-workers. They are, of course, lack of support from the system, from the industry, and a lot of our personal issues may affect how we deliver our nursing care. So these are pre-existing around us, and it's something that we have to take note of. And then we have adaptive challenges. These are complex issues that are unexpected, something that occurs in a time that we least expected, like impending death, or your patient is very stable and later on is having bradycardia and being unstable and deteriorating. So these are examples. Or machines that are giving up, or the blackouts happening now as a concern for hospitals, and of course the increasing or the loss or the decreasing retention of nurses happening in our healthcare environment. And then for other concepts, adaptive leadership enables us to understand the balcony and the dance floor. So when we talk about balcony, it allows leaders to identify patterns and reevaluate assumptions. So this is where the person is looking at the wider perspective, what is happening, and more on being on the outside chain and looking at the wider cause of the problem. And then we have the dance floor, which is being immersed in the environment, the situation, and that causes the concern, and being able to understand and be the one to plan steps or actions to solve the issues. And then, of course, we have adaptive capacity. This is our ability to remain intact despite the chaos, despite the unpredictability. And this is where we are able to cope and we're able to thrive in our stressful environment. And you know that we have experienced that on a daily basis. Our work hours, 8 hours. How long are you in your shift? 8 hours seems so long for us, and even the first hour seems so threatening and so nervous, especially on your first day in an area, and that really allows you to be more afraid and more sometimes you're frozen and you don't know what to do. So, and that requires us to look back or step back, look beyond, and see how we can help. That's adaptive capacity. So next, please. So what are the key principles for adaptive leadership? So number 1 is emotional intelligence. And emotional intelligence is not just allowing or not being able to understand the problem, but being able to recognize how one is exposed in that situation, and accepting the vulnerability, the uniqueness of the person, and that is not operating more on emotions, but more on looking at how one be able to come safe in a difficult situation. And then another one is organizational justice. So for organizational justice, this allows adaptive leaders to be more honest, genuine, and be transparent. So it is important that the institution will be giving a well-informed the institution is giving information, full information disclosure, and how the institution is performing, the difficulties, weaknesses, and how one can help. So that is very important. And then for adaptive leadership, again, it's very important for you to engage in lifelong learning. And even I, now in my 45 years of age and of 2 decades still, is excited to learn every day. And it keeps us to stay young, right? So being able to be excited to learn from new experiences, that's very important in adaptive leadership. And you just have to always be in a stance that it is a great day to learn something new. And then your character, of course, is very important as adaptive leader. Prioritizing respect, valuing the person you're working with, and listening, and then engaging in meaningful interactions that allows differences, diversity, and of course, there will be times that you'll be engaging in arguments, but it must not be a form of attack to your colleague or to the person you're working with. It's something that you have to value as a learning opportunity to improve and accept constructive feedback. And then win-win problem solving. So we as adaptive leaders must engage in problem solving. We must be proactive. We must be able to take steps to find solutions rather than blaming people, right? Because our initial reaction is, it's your fault. You did not do this. So we are in a negative position, and sometimes if we started that way, it already puts chaos, tension, and therefore we will have difficulty solving the issue. So next. So for nurses like us and you in the future, we rely on you so much, and we are looking for and forming, as nurse educators, we want to form nurses who are skilled in leading the healthcare environment with confidence despite its unpredictability. So you must be nurses who are adept, who are adaptive, and very capable and ready to accept anything that will come your way. So, and you're not afraid, and that is emphasized in L.E.A.D.E.R.S et al. Study, and they have, of course, they are emerging through time and how adaptive leadership still relevant in our practice. So, and that's our role as nurse educators. That's why a positive practice environment is important in nurturing learning, and at the same time being able to have a grasp of what the reality is, how to accept the reality, and how to be in control of the realities we are in. So next, and what are the roles of adaptive nurse leaders? So what I learned through time as a nurse and a nurse educator and being in mental health, I learned that setting structure helped me every time I go through different environments. So when I have set structure for the things I need to do, then I learn to manage my time. I learn to be more in control of what will happen, or in control of my thoughts, my emotions, and I will have options on how I will be dealing with the situation. So I think setting norms is important within yourself first, and then with your colleagues. It's as nurse leaders, it's important to set a structure on how we have to converse, to communicate, and the nurse supervisors must be very strong in this and must be role models as well. So, and that's why we as nurse educators are sources of inspiration, and we act as role models for this. So, and in setting norms, we value differences, we value exchanges, But the important thing is, with setting norms, we can settle for solutions altogether and not lead into arguments. And then another is, we have to address conflicts earlier. So since we're working with different people, we're working with emotions, we're working with illnesses, and you know how chaotic, emotional that is on a daily basis. So conflicts are common, and we know that conflicts are presence of opposing emotions, and therefore we have to value safety and the importance of feeling safe in a healthcare environment is important. So, and that must start from you. So you must be the one to say to yourself, I am safe here, I am here to learn, and I'm ready to care for my patients. I will ask questions when I'm afraid. I will ask the help of my senior nurses, and that's how we address our internal conflicts. And then for external conflicts, we have to go directly to the person and approach them honestly. I see that you are having an issue a while ago. You were giving statements about this. Can I be clarified on that? So these are options we can work on, and that's a skill, and we can learn from it. So at the start, it might be something you're not used to doing, but as you go along, and if you put that as a structure in your daily encounters, that will be something part of your ADL as well. And then leaders ensure behaviors are aligned. So it's important that you be part of an institution that's aligned in your values. That's why as you graduate, you have to look for institutions that really support your values, your goals, your mission, and it's good to work in an institution that will nurture that. So, and being in an institution that allows you to grow and be competent in and learn from mistakes is something that you have to value on. Then next, leading through power of words. Well, again, as nurses, we are the first, or we are the frontliners. We are the first ones to receive messages, exchanges of patients' complaints and pain. So, and we are the first responders. So it's just right for us to be honest, to be genuine. So when a patient asks us, will I die from this? So it's hard to say yes right away, yes, you will die from this. But you have to process that and be the first one to acknowledge the experience. And sometimes we're not at the best or at the great fit to respond to that emotions because we are into our own conditions as well, but listening helps. So you must be having a hard time. I'm here to listen. So you don't need to say a lot of words, just sit down, be at the same level, and hear them out. No, I'm here for you. Let me listen to you. What are your thoughts? So that's what we do. And next, so here's an example. So we have here a narrative. So you're a junior nurse on a BC Med-Surg unit, and a management just introduced a bedside shift report, technical protocol to replace tape reports in the break room, and the goal is to improve patient safety. However, one of your senior nurses missed that. You notice that they're completely bypassing the bedside report and claiming it takes too long, wakes up the patient, and therefore this is a nurse who's very resistant, and she is your senior nurse. So, and knowing that patient falls during the shift, change hours have spiked by 15% over the last month. So this is an example of our daily challenges and technical challenges, and invites us to adapt right away. So we cannot just leave the situation. We have witnessed it. We are part of the nursing interventions, and we must do our role. So the challenge is, how will you communicate this to your senior nurse? So any thoughts? How will you communicate? So any ideas how you will share or talk to the person? Anyone who would like to share? So any idea? So maybe you're drafting your communication prompts. So let's see, how will we do that as an adaptive nurse leader? Next, please. So start with observation, making observation. So on you notice, we skip the bedside safety checklist during our last handover. And I know our primary goal on this is keeping the patient safe. So that is your objective, the goal, why you are talking to her. So I said a while ago, you have to confront the person, but it is not a negative form of confrontation. We have a term we called as supportive confrontation. So you make observation, state I, that's assertiveness, and state the goal while you're confronting. And I understand we are incredibly busy tonight, so we can just use our techniques like we do in S.B.A.R. So what's the situation? I know we are so busy, but I feel, so let's go back to our emotion, uncomfortable missing these steps because you are part of the goal of maintaining patient safety, and it leaves us for critical errors. So the last statement must be about making solutions, offering solutions, taking action. Can we take 2 minutes of your time to complete the checklist together? And at the bedside, so we are both protected. So we are making it in such a way, how we deliver our communication is prioritizing collaboration and also inviting respect. And we also demand our goals and our roles at the same time, but being very true and genuine, and at the same time not leading into blaming and tension-related statements or actions. So have you appreciated that? So is that something that you're saying in your regular conversation? To be honest, no, right? So we are not used to these types of communication, but I have learned that when I deal with the international nurses, and how I admire them for being quick and direct to the point, but being able to guide you on what needs to be seen and solved. So that helps. So you can improve on that prompts. You can, so that you can be more natural and genuine in your delivery. So, but we have our guide there. So you start with your observation I, and then set the reason why you're stating it, the goal, and then the situation, and then offer solutions. So these are the things that help me out in delivering exchanges or communication with daily nursing issues. So next. So a busy unit in the ER, there's sudden influx of trauma patients, and Nurse Mark is a new nurse overwhelmed by deteriorating patients, and you as new nurses or student nurses often encounters that being in a new environment, right? On your first day, handling machines, that is very common, and we have the charge nurse, Nurse Sarah, and Dr. Torres, who's the ER resident. So for the prompts, Mark is needing help. So he is very overwhelmed by a deteriorating patient. And if you notice on his statements, he is already in a statement or in an experience of stress. So, and technical checklist done, but he is still spiraling. I don't know what to prioritize. So, and that is very common when you are very tense and you're swamped with all the tasks, then you don't know what to do. So the challenge is, how will charge nurse Sarah approach Mark and the team? Because there's coming MVA, three cars arriving in 5 minutes, so that will be very overwhelming. So next, do you have any thoughts on how you'll handle that situation? You as Nurse Sarah, the charge nurse? Maybe you have something in mind, or maybe that's similar to what you're watching in a medical drama, right? So that's the usual encounter. So how will Nurse Sarah respond to Dr. Torres' call, and how she will respond to Mark, who's very overwhelmed with the nursing task? So let's see. So Sarah should maintain a calm tone, rapidly scanning the ED and responding to Dr. Torres and pausing all elective discharges. And if you notice her response, let's move the stable patients in bed 4 and 5 to the hallway observation chair. So she's already proactive, she is already finding solutions, and she will be leading the team. So Sarah addresses the team right away. We are shifting into a search protocol, clear your non-urgent tasks, prioritize open beds. So that is what Sarah did, and she asked the team. So that's part of adaptive leadership, and you know you're not alone, that you're working with the team. And then Sarah addresses Mark, so as the charge nurse, and guiding Mark to the situation and asking prompts like, what are you seeing? So it allows Mark to be focused because he's very tense, he doesn't know what to focus. So charge nurse Sarah will be giving prompts to allow the nurse to focus, Nurse Mark to focus. And can you handle that while I manage incoming trauma assignments? She's only asking yes or no questions, so that Mark will be able to decide right away, yes, I can help. So, and if you notice, Mark helped by nodding because he's really overwhelmed. And yes, and responding to the immediate call, yes, I will call Dr. Torres because that's something he can do. And if you're able to do something after a very chaotic, tense environment, it allows you to restart. So do something that allows you to restart and be focused again, so that all the tension and all the stressors will be resolved. And that is being in control of the situation. And you as the charge nurse must be the one to ensure a positive environment. So perfect, you have the lead on this bed, I've got your back. So, and that's the role of the charge nurse. She must state her presence. She must state her lead by, I'm here for you. Okay? And that helps. Next. So, and what you have seen is the importance of psychological safety as adaptive leaders. So we don't only approach change, embrace change, but we ensure, because we know change encounters resistance, behaviors, and most of the time people become uncooperative and argumentative. So with that, we have to ensure that they're safe to speak up, to take risks, make mistakes. But of course, we are nurses. We don't want to allow mistakes that will end to death or lethality or mortality. We have to be cautious on what needs to be allowed. That's why we have simulations, we have practice activities, so that we can be more safe when approaching our patients. So, and with psychological safety, it allows team learning, performance, innovation, and then with insecure leadership, it disrupts psychological safety. So that's why you'll notice every time they will label areas or wards. I don't want that area. They're too toxic. The nurses are so mean. The nurses does not see us as patients. They ignore us. So, and that is very difficult. So we don't want patients to see us that way. And we are nurses. We care. We foster nurturing environments. So that is opposite of our goal and mission and vision. So next. And nurse leaders who treat connection as a strategic responsibility instead of an optional interpersonal preference are more likely to sustain high-functioning intergenerational teams. So even if Nurse Sarah is working with baby boomers, millennials, Gen X, so she will be able to go through them, handle them, learn from them, and work together. So that's coming from Doucette and George, recently published on how adaptive leadership is very important in intergenerational nurses. So next. So therefore, when we are adaptive leaders, we have to embrace that change is constant. So we have to be very open to any changes, sudden changes. We are flexible, we are responsible, we are open in such a way that we are open to solutions, but not really open to deterioration or abuse or sometimes with openness, disrespect happens. So we don't allow that. Patients who will attack our nurses or students, doctors who will be giving negative remarks to students. So we still want to be able to maintain that culture of safety and culture of learning. So next. And when we lead through change, we lead with people with different personalities, beliefs, culture, and coming from different institutions, learning backgrounds, and that is okay. So, and that is exciting because we can learn from one another. So, and that is something that we have to engage with. Having meals together, snacks, breaks, allow us to have a little information about our colleagues. And then with that, we can use that as a leverage to work together, collaborate, and help one another, right? So it's good to be in an environment where the team supports you, accepts you, and recognize you, but corrects your mistakes, right? I see you have missed that. Please don't do that again. It's something that we have to be very careful, but this is a learning opportunity for you. Don't do that again. So, and rather than humiliating the person in front of other staff or patients or doctors. Next. And supporting transition, sometimes retention is a concern now. After graduation, you have other plans. Maybe you'll be working abroad or you'll be engaging into another profession, like advancing into medical degree. So some of you will, or some of you will engage into master's degree, doctorate degree, so, and or be in the different fields in nursing. So when we are adaptive leaders, we support transition, and our hospitals now are suffering because they're doing trainings every year because retention is only up to a year, maximum of 3 years, and training and retraining happens all the time. So, and that's overwhelming. It causes burnout for our nurse leaders, and again, the workload prevents them from growing in their profession. So next. And of course, the pandemic really is a great hit for everyone, but it's a great time for nurses to be acknowledged and valued globally. So, and that allows us, so that picture was taken from St. Luke's Medical Center during the time of pandemic, and there are the nurses who are in the COVID unit working together despite the risk, the uncertainty, and all the chaos, because we are at the part wherein this is something new, we haven't experienced it, but adaptive leaders lead forward. This is the problem. We solve it right away. Let's work together. Okay. Next. And we have to let go of rigid thinking. So that's why we're open to discussion, brainstorming. We allow correction of mistakes, corrective feedback. We use technology now, and it's easy to document now with EMR, but in the Philippines, not yet started yet, and some institutions, there are EMRs already, but we are improving on that, and we will invest on it. And next, so that we'll value more of our interaction. Go on. And fast learning cycles, because you'll be encountered, especially in a critical environment, you'll be admitting and discharging, and then admitting a new patient again of different case. So you really have to be adaptive of the cases you'll encounter. But other than that, it becomes a routine. So therefore, you have to invest your time by engaging into literature reading, evidence-based practice, engaging in research. Next, and stability and innovation. We value our seniors in the workplace, our mentors, our models, so it's good to receive feedback from them, learn from them, and ask for their feedback. So I usually enjoy that, listening to my supervisor or my head nurse, or learning from the patient's comments. So we have our patient satisfaction survey, working on it instead of being negative about it. So what is missing? What should I improve on? And how can I be stable and at the same time improve on my profession? So that's why we build resilience. As they say, we are very resilient, but resilience is not just a characteristic or a label. Being resilient is a culture. So it's something that we value together, because we value people around us. That's why we have to survive this. We have to win this, and that's why we're more positive, we're optimistic. We have to work together. We don't feel that we're alone, and we will learn from one another through our experiences. And that was emphasized by R.E.A.D.E.R.S, and they say that an organization that's resilient survives every chaos, every tragedy, every complex situations. Next. And above all the changes, we still have to be relevant. So that's why we have to educate ourselves, we have to stay informed, and now we are into virtual nursing. So nurses are now being given the opportunity to work by catering to international patients, even in the Philippines. So, and that's another opportunity for nurses, for Filipino nurses, because they see how valuable we are, how good we are in our communication, how good we are in our patient care. They recognize she's a Filipino nurse, she's very caring, and so even online, virtually, they prefer Filipino nurses. So, and that is a good
acknowledgement for us, right? And of course, there's robotics, there's AI. We should not be replaced by them. They should be tools to help us be more effective, more timely, more relevant. And because we have, again, illnesses that can be treated, or we have tasks that AI can do for us, so that we can invest more on our time with patients altogether and the people we're working with. So next. So in summary, adaptive leadership is the ability to foster strong sense and purpose and direction within the team. So if we are thinking the same, we are protecting each other, we value change, but we are in control of change. That is adaptive leadership. And then we lead with empathy, we recognize the humanness of our role as nurses, the work that we do. That's why we have to be more careful our interactions. We have to be humble and authentic in our responses. And then it's a driving force to be very successful in an organization. And it's good to respond to our patient complaints, patient satisfaction, because it's just the way that we do our nursing care. It's our normal structure. And then it involves empowering team members to take ownership of the work and make meaningful contributions. So that's why you have to recognize you're good at this. I trust you, and I believe in you. So, and that's one. And lastly, adaptive nurse leaders can thrive in tomorrow's dynamics. So whatever happens, whatever generation comes in, I'm not afraid, because we as nurse educators are ready to lead you, prepare you, and guide you on your journey. So I think that's it. Thank you so much. So, yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ma'am Arnie and Salita, for giving emphasis on the importance of being adaptive and effective communicator as a nursing leader. Now, let us give her another round of applause, everyone. First of all, allow us to introduce ourselves. I am Wish Bagtakan.
And I'm L.E.A.D.E.R.S.
And
we will be
facilitating the rest of today's seminar.
That's why, let us wait no more. It is our privilege to introduce our second distinguished speaker.
She is an esteemed nurse, midwife, and healthcare leader with over 4 decades of excellence in clinical practice, nursing education, and leadership.
She graduated from the University of Santo Tomas with a Master's of Arts in Nursing. She has dedicated her career to advancing maternal child, pediatric nursing standards here in the Philippines and across the Asia-Pacific region.
She currently serves as the physician liaison at the University of Perpetual Health System Delta Medical Center and holds presidency in 2 major organizations, the Mother and Child Health Nurses Association of the Philippines and the Asia-Pacific Pediatric Nurses Association.
She is also an author of authoritative clinical guides, a sought-after international speaker, and a recipient of the Paragon Professionalism Award, truly shaping the profession through her writing, leadership, and advocacy.
Let us all welcome her with a warm round of applause, Ma'am Balbina M. Borneo.
Good morning to each and everyone. I would like to thank the PWU, the administration, especially the College of Nursing for this invitation. Under the leadership of Dean Minerva de Ala. Is she around? Your leadership is the best testament for maintaining the PWU as one of the top performing school in the Philippine nursing licensure. Palakpakan nyo naman yung university nyo. And of course, with your good lineup of faculty, especially thanks to your advisor, Mr. Ronnie Abileda. Thank you, sir. And of course, the president of the Level 2, especially to the vice president, Miss Christine Bundang. Etong si Yana, sa sobrang kabisi ko, talaga po namang nasa kanya yata yung skills ng leader. Na wala na lang ginawa kundi, ma'am. Hindi ko, actually, noong the first month, hindi ko siya sinasagot because I'm not sure if I can make it in this event. Right, Yana? Diba? Ang tagal ko siyang sinasagot. And of course, I would like to thank the future nursing leaders, which is the Level 3 nursing students. Palakpakan natin kayo. Sir, how many section ba ito? How many level, how many section yung Level 3? Well, during my time, 2 section, no? During my time, ang leadership and management is pang 4th year. Ewan ko kung inabot ni Ma'am L.E.A.D.E.R.S, yes, pang 4th year. Kaya kami hanap ng possible speaker kung sino yung mai-invite namin. And we are really thankful, of course, together with my co-speaker in this, it's an honor for us to speak to the future generation, the future leader of the nursing profession. Okay, next slide, please. So, what kind of leader do people remember? And think of a leader who impacted you deeply. During my time, it is the smartest, the most skilled, or the one who made feel seen and valued. Or think of a leader who impacted you deeply. What did they do? How did they make you feel? Definitely, at your stage, students, meron kayong paboritong teacher or CI. That's me during my time. Meron nga akong kaklase. Ultimo yung pananamit naming mga teacher at pagsasalita. Titingnan. Meron ba kayong paboritong CI? Meron? Definitely meron, di ba? Si Sir ba, paborito nyo? Oh, grabe. Sir, harap-harapan niya. Actually, honestly, sir, uso pa ba dito yung tuwing graduation or tuwing capping, merong flowers na binibigay sa teacher at parents? Ginagawa nyo dito? Well, honestly, I am the most noted terrorist CI. Pag Ma'am Borneo kayo, this is my how many decades? Kung si Ma'am 45, I'm 68. Not yet tired. Retired but not tired. Yes. Ako, tuwing graduation, kala ko konti lang, pero makakakuha ako ng isang bundle na roses. Ma'am, thank you po. Ma'am, thank you. Hindi ko pa sila estudyante. Ma'am, pwede ba ako ma-under sa inyo? Huwag mo nang tangkain. Dahil pag ako CI sa ward, siyempre, ward ICU nurse ako, D.R. nurse, pediatric CI ako. Nagkakandawalas yung dumadating pa lang ako. Kasi tatanungin ko sila Hindi pwedeng taga-tayuman. Alam niyo yung tayuman? Tatayo lang. Walang gagawin dun sa pasyente. At any rate, next slide please. Ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo na ano ba yung klaseng leader nyo. Now, allow me to share a story. Story is familiar to many of us. At least this is about two leaders. Both were smart, both were experienced, both had the same resources. Both one leader walked in a room and people felt tense. Careful, guarded. Both have same skills, same intelligence, but different in fact. What made them deeper? No, not the IQ, no, not the intelligence, but it is the emotional intelligence. Siyempre, kayo, sasabihin nyo, next slide please, sasabihin ninyo, ang paborito kong pinakamabait na CI. Di ba, ganon kayo? Bihira yung eto magaling na CI. Kailangan nyo mabait, very supportive. Di ba? Ganon kayo mga estudyante. Ayaw nyo ng matapang na CI. Tama, mali? Yes, based on your experience. So, why this matters? Okay? Leaders is no longer just about IQ. In today's healthcare environment, leadership is not based solely on intelligence, technical knowledge, or clinical expertise. While these skills are important, effective leadership also requires the ability to understand, manage, and respond to emotion. Successful nurse leaders balance both intellectual abilities and emotional awareness to lead their teams effectively. Emotional intelligence drives success. Emotional intelligence helps leaders communicate clearly, handle stress, resolve conflicts, and build strong professional relationships. Leaders with high EQ create supportive and productive workforce where staff members feel respected and valued. EQ impacts relationship, decision, and performance. Leaders with strong emotional intelligence are better able to build trust and make thoughtful decisions and maintain effective teamwork. EQ helps leaders understand the emotion or others, which improves collaboration and patient care outcomes. And a chained nurse who remains calm during conflict between team members can immediate the situation professionally, help maintain teamwork and patient safety. Okay, next slide please. Leadership. Leadership, kindly read please. Okay, I find this quote from Kimmer and Alan Kate about what is leadership. According to Kimmer's, leadership is the process of social influence in which one person can enlist the aid and support of others in accomplishment of a common task. And according to Kate, leadership is ultimate about creating a way for people to contribute for making something extraordinary happen. Next slide, please. So, EQ. According to Lauren Laundrie, the term emotional intelligence, or EQ, was coined in year 1990 by John Mayer and Peter Solby. This is the ability to understand and control your emotion, and involving recognizing, influencing emotion of others. And according to Daniel Goleman, psychologists who popularized the term made by the two researchers, the EQ is the number one and the key factor in effective leadership. In a room full of people, to know who are effective leaders are those people who share the same high level of emotional intelligence. And this is what sets outstanding leaders apart beyond entry-level qualifications. So IQ and technical skills are still important, but this is mainly the basis requirement in leadership. So what drives leadership success? So, next slide, please. So this is the statistics. What consists and what drives a leadership to success? A key ingredients to successful leadership consists of 50% emotional intelligence and 25% cognitive intelligence, and another 25% is technical skills. So EQ is important, that produces an effective leadership. Next slide, please. Reality check. Leadership is not about authority. It is about influence and impact. Emotions shape behavior, decision, and performance. I have read a post on a website while I am searching and preparing for this topic. I would like to congratulate this, why you choose this topic, and this is very fit nowadays. I am and then every organization, I actually interview one who yung sumalubong sa akin, what is your plans after your graduation? Ma'am, I will work, and then ma'am, I would like to join in an organization. Congratulations, Iho, for answering that. This is the tip. In every organization, in every institution, people watch what you do far more closely than what you say. And your colleagues, patients, superiors, subordinate, partners, and clients observes how you respond under pressure, how you handle conflict, and whether you hold yourself to the same expectation you set for others. Let me share another story about me. I was the president of the Mother and Child Nurses Association since 2015 to 19, and then I come back. Next slide, please. And then I come back 24 up to present. I have no idea, and I have no plans to go back. But because of my 32 chapters and my 5,000 members of MCNAP, the Mother and Child Nurses, those are pediatric, NICU, PQ, OB ward, Pedia ward. So that is MCNAP. And then after that, upon the request of my 32 presidents chapter, ma'am, pag hindi ka bumalik, mamamatay ang chapter mo. Sinagot ko naman sila, gusto nyo naman yatang ako ang mamatay sa problemang ibinibigay ng inyong resolve it. Solusyonan ninyo, please. Ito yung style of leadership. That's why at your service, I'm still the president. Even during the Asia-Pacific Pediatric Nurses, we are a member of the ASEAN countries. 8 ASEAN countries ang member po ng Asia. We are affiliated. During my 15 to 19 presidency, na-elect na ako, I refuse to be the leader of the Asia Pacific because I want to concentrate on my presidency as president of MCNAP. But when I come back in 2024, please, Philippines, you know, when you are in the different country, they will not call you, I'm Mrs. Borneo, Balbina Borneo. No, they will call me Philippines, Philippines. Yun ang pangalan ko, saka natawa ko kasi I will never forget when I refused the presidency from Hong Kong our president of Hong Kong, why did you refuse? No, no, no. I want to concentrate. I think there is a better leader than me. Okay? So yun yung mga history. And honestly, I am 68 years old. You mentioned that I am the physician liaison officer of perpetual. Yes. It's a different position. I am the one responsible for inviting doctors in perpetual. Baka meron kayong mga doktor o mga what you call this, father, or you wanted to practice in perpetual, I am the one screening on it. Even my boss, sir, I am 62, I want to retire. I am the former dean, assistant dean in the College of Nursing in Perpetual Las Piñas. And then he wanted me to transfer in the hospital. So the Tamayo, the owner, I want you to be the physician liaison officer. What shall I do? What will I do? But my experience, 10-year practicing in UST, yun yung nag-flourish sa akin because of the connection, power, and sincerity. And then, ayaw niya akong pa-retire na. 65, sir, wala na kayong magagawa. Mandatory, I have to retire. Diba? Sa government policy, 65 is no, you will not retire. Ay, nilayasan ko, nagpunta ako ng US, bakasyon ako, kalahating taon. When I come back, siguro naman hindi na nila ako papabalikin. No, you have to come back. So that's why still, ang ginawa ko, sir, I need an assistant. That's why they gave me an assistant. Okay, that's what I'm saying is here is your performance. And being you're smart, you don't need to have this. Marami ang matalino, summa, magna, pero usually ang successful yung mga middle. Take note of that. Observe on that. Okay, next slide, please. Oh, by the way, that is all my activities in MCNAP. Okay, leadership. From old leadership to modern leadership nowadays. We have the old leadership style and the modern leadership style. The shift in leadership from authority to influence reflect broader change in how people respond to power and motivation. During the old time, I experienced different types of leaders. Being the 13th president, I have a lot of president, which I withdraw. There is a military president of MCNAP. There is a dean. There is a practicing of maternal and child. But I have only one leader that I valued. And I will not tell you. It's up to you who you model your own leader. So today the approach is less effective, especially in more collaborative and fast-changing environment. Ika nga, hindi mo na pwedeng basta utus-utusan pagsabihan ang mga tao ngayon. Tama ba? Tama ba? Sir, sa mga students mo, napapagalitan mo ba sila? Yes? O ba, pwede. Nowadays, being MCNAP president, we are partners with ANSAP. You know what is ANSAP? Association of Chief Nursing Leaders. So lahat ng mga chief nurses, partner yan ni MCNAP. Alam nyo, gano'n talaga si MCNAP eh. Si MCNAP eh, sikat eh. Ma'am, joke. Because we have partnership. Sasabihin ng mga kaibigan kong chief nurses, ma'am, iba na ngayon ang pag-hire ng nurses. Ang mga nurses ngayon, hindi namin kailangan ng matalino. Kailangan namin yung susunod, masunurin. Imagine that. Nowadays, during my time, ang estudyante, kapag sinabi kong, titingnan ko mula ulo hanggang paa, dahil walang dalang kit, yung BP, ano nyo, di ba, bag? Uso pa ba yon? Yung you had to bring your BP up, your own thermometer, blah, 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 materials. Eh, wala. Oh, bakit ka pa pumasok, iho? Ngayon, pwede mong ganunin? Sa amin, sa Biluna, I am the CI in AFP Medical Center. No orientation, no duty. Go home. Ganon kay strict. So, depende. Leadership in military, follow. Sumunod ka muna bago ka sumaway. That's it. So, there is a different types of leadership. I will not, explain because I know you know already, okay? So similarly, leadership has moved to control to connection. Traditional leadership focuses on closely managing people, monitoring performance, and maintaining strict oversight. Now, effective leaders prioritize building relationship, understanding their team members, and creating a sense of belongings. When people feel connected, valued, they are more engaged, motivated, and willing to contribute. Baka naman kayo yung naandun sa Senado. Huwag mo akong sisigawan. Aware ba kayo doon? Oo, langya. Lumayas ka dyan. Hindi mo naman pala naiintindi. Sorry naman, ha? Okay. I hope you are updated. That's one thing more. To my students, it is not related. I am the professor in the graduate school. Kung hindi kayo updated sa present situation ngayon ng leadership, mag-isip-isip muna kayo. Okay? So, next slide, please. The 7 essential qualities of a leaders. So great leaders is less about technical brilliance and more about behavior. This might surprise people who think experience is everything, but experience without the right approach won't get you far. Here are the 7 qualities of a brilliant. So start with lead with clarity. Ika nga, sabi ni ma'am, na-mention din niya yung mission. Dapat klaro yung mission, vision ng isang institution. O yung ano ninyo, well, I heard kami sa UST, especially in the practice of doctor, bawal sa amin abortion. So, hindi pwede yun. So, yung family planning, hindi pwede. Pwede, natural. Something like that. So, depende sa inyo kung ano yung vision ninyo. And the best leaders make the goal clear and trust the team to get there. Your job is to build the condition for great work. Execute through others. The moment you step into leadership, your measure of success must change. The outcomes now belong to your team, not just to you. So adaptability is everything. The great leaders can adjust fast when they're wrong. Waiting for certainty, waiting for a certainty is the same as deciding not to compete. Decide and own it. Consensus is slow everything down. Great leaders make the call and take responsibility for the outcome. So elevate everyone around you. The goal is to raise the collective energy of the room. You don't need to the most technically brilliant. If you can do this, read the room before you read you. And the leaders worth hiring have operated across multiple cycles. They know what's coming because they have seen it before. Stay steady when everything isn't. Remaining calm in tough situation is a competitive advantage. So great leaders don't pinch even when the rug is pulled out from under them. And don't use natural talent as an excuse. Anyone can develop these qualities with time, of course. Everyone has their own skills and stand out, and you shout your own those. So, the next slide, please. The great leadership. Being a great leader, you should practice this leader, because there are behaviors that can be developed, tested, and hired for, making a priority whether you're looking to be hired or doing the hiring. So this is based on 20 years of placing executive at the highest level of tech. So listen, speak less, understand more. Truly hear people, build real trust. People trust leaders who listen, not just talk. Empower. Don't create powers, create more leaders. Give ownership. Strong leaders multiply strength. Authentic. No mask, no ego. Be real and consistent. Authenticity builds credibility. So develop, invest in people, give feedback, believe in their growth. Success is your team growth. Encourage, lift people up, especially when confidence drops. Energy from leaders fuels team. Recognize the value of people openly. Appreciate effort, not just result. People stay where their feels valued. Here's the truth. Leadership is not about control. It's about connection, trust, and growth. And leadership, from speaking to listening, from control to empowerment, from ego to authenticity. And the final thought, the DNA of great leadership isn't complex. It's just consistently human. Okay, leadership skills. Next slide, please. So leadership skills for 2026, the latest. Okay, this model is by Raquel Nantono, which is the leadership skills for 2026 success. Being leader is not a piece of cake, and let no one tells you otherwise. Being a leader means being prepared to be pushed and work out of your comfort zone. The comfort zone you knew as a manager is nothing compared that you're going to encounter as a leader. The best of monster that is inevitable in leadership is dealing with people and issues. So strategic thinking in an uncertain world, what it looks like in practice, making decisions with incomplete information, balancing short-term performance with long-term resilience, connecting day-to-day work to a clear strategic direction, adaptability and learning agility. The 2026 reality, the roles, tools, and markets will keep changing faster than job titles. Strong leaders learn continuously and visibly and unlearn outdated assumptions. And human-centered leadership, why matters? Automation and AI are increasingly efficiency, but people still drive creativity, judgment, and trust. Key behaviors, active listening and empathy, creating psychological safety. Clear and authentic communication, why it's critical. The hybrid work, global teams, and constant change increase the risk of confusion and disengagement. So effective leaders communicate purposely, not just tasks, are transparent, even when answers aren't complete. Digital and AI fluency, not coding but understanding what leaders need, not what they fear. Understanding how AI, data, and automation affect decision, jobs, and risks, and asking the right question of technical aspect or expert. Emotional intelligence and self-awareness, Leadership starts with self-management, managing stress and pressure, recognizing personal biases, responding rather than reacting. Next slide, please. The 5 core elements of emotional intelligence. So Goldman developed the performance based on model EQ to assess employee levels of emotional intelligence as well as identify areas of improvement. The model consists of 5 components. 1, self-awareness. Next slide, please. So self-awareness, individual with high levels of emotional intelligence are comfortable with their own thoughts, emotion, and understands how they impact of others. Understanding and accepting the way you feel is often the first step to overcoming it. This is also your foundation for leadership that prevent emotional reaction during the decision making, and it helps you recognize your strengths and weaknesses. Why self-awareness? Because it is the foundation of leadership, improve decision making, and prevent emotional reaction. Next slide, please. Self-regulation. So self-regulation, it is also important to be able to control and manage your impulses and emotion. Acting rashly or without caution can lead to mistakes being made and can often damage relationship with clients or colleagues. Have you noticed the senator during the last? Sobrang emotional, ang dadaldal nila, defensive sila. So, nahuli sila, lahat ng mali nila. Nagputo ka, wala man lang nangumusta sa amin. My God, and yet, ang saya niyong kumakain. So, tell me, where is justice to us? I'm not intimidating or making any issues on this. I'm just telling you, more talk, more mistakes. Number 3, please. Next slide, please. Internal motivation. Internal motivation, being driven by only money and material rewards, is not a beneficial characteristic, according to Goldman. A passion for what you do is far better for your emotional intelligence. This leads to sustained motivation, clear decision making, and a better understanding of the organization aims. Okay, next slide, please. And number 4 is empathy. Empathy is the heart of leadership. Take note of this. Not only must you understand your own emotion, but understanding and reacting to the emotion of others. It is also important identifying the certain mood or emotion from colleagues or client, and reacting to it can go a long way in developing your relationship. Remember to also see the perspective of others in order to build trust and correction. This is where active listening, validation, and compassionate responses appears. Next slide, please. The last is the social skills. Social skills are more than just being friendly. Goldman described them as friendliness with a purpose, meaning everyone is treated politely and with respect, yet healthy relationship are then also used for personal and organizational benefits. So, next slide, please. So, development, growing your EQ. So, EQ is learnable. Emotional intelligence is not something people are simply born with. It can be developed over time. Through conscious effort, individual can improve their ability to understand emotion, communicate effectively, manage stress, build a stronger relationship just like any other skills. EQ grows through continuous learning and experience. Requires practice and reflection. Developing EQ involves regular practice in real situation. This includes actively listening, managing emotional reaction, showing empathy, and responding thoroughly instead of impulsively. Reflection is equally important because it helps individuals evaluate their behavior and recognize emotion trigger and identify areas for improvement. Feedback is essential. Constructive feedback from colleagues, mentors, friends, and supervisor helps individual better understanding how their emotion and behavior affects others. Feedbacks provides better understanding how their emotion behavior affects others and valuable insight into strength and areas that they need improvements. So, resilience. Next slide, please. Resilience in leadership. Ito lang advice ko sa mga graduate ng PWU. Huwag nyo namang papabayaan na pagka-graduate nyo, you have to come back. Honestly, after my work at UST for 10 years, my BSN is in Arellano University because hindi pwede sa UST. My masteral is in UST, yes. But my BSN, bawal kasi ang second courser sa UST. Being a midwife, sabi ng aking mga kaibigang doktor, "Ma'am, bagay sa'yo ang nursing." Wala naman akong balak mag-nursing kasi yung mga kaibigan kong doktor sa UST, sila yung may gusto mag-nursing ako. Sige na nga, hindi naman ako habang buhay, kailangan midwife at ganito sa position ko sa hospital. So with the help of my nag-nursing ako. Right after my graduation, nagturo ako sa Arellano. Remember, I am also the president of my batch in my nursing career. In my nursing, magturo ka, sabi ng dean. Hiya ko namang magturo ako ng kapares ko lang graduate ng BSN. Ang tuturuan ko, baka masino ko. Sabi ko nga sa inyo, during my time, ang mga estudyante, mahilig yung manglait. Hindi naman manglait, mamuna. Ay, si ma'am kapwa ko di ba, ma'am, hindi pwedeng you are far advanced. Kailangan may masteral ka. Libre ako sa Arellano. Siyempre, graduate ako ng Arellano. Libre ako doon siyempre, baka naman sinusunod. Actually, wala sa school yun Nasa sa inyo nowadays. Importante kung sino ka at ano ka ang experience mo, ang kakayahan mo. With my lecture, you will be the future leader of your generation. Resilience in leadership. Resilience, ability to bounce back from challenges. Nurse leader often face unexpected challenges. Ika nga, sabi ni ma'am sa lecture niya sa kanyang mga slides, such as staff shortages, patient emergencies, or emotionally difficult situation. A resilient nursing leaders remains positive and focused despite these difficulties. Example, a nurse manager experienced shortage of nurses. Diba? Ngayon, bawal. Ang hirap mong pag-overtimein ang mga nurses. That's the common problem. So, bakit ba, ma'am? Stress, burnout, tinamaan na magaling na stress and burnout nowadays. Sorry, kinakapitalize nyo na lang yan. During our time, bawal ang hindi. Yung pa namang USC hospital namin, bahain yun. Tama, ma'am? Pag binaha na kami, wala na, kulong na kami doon. Wala kaming magagawa kundi overtime kami, 2 days nag-duty. Tanong, kaya namin, ma'am, wala akong tulog. Ma'am, burnout ako. Ma'am, stress ako. But nowadays, nurses, no, absent ako. May review ako ng NCLEX. Meron akong ganito. Ganito ako. Okay? Stay composed under pressure. Nursing leaders must remain calm during high-stress situation to help guide their team and maintain patient safety. Their composure helps reduce anxiety among staff and promotes better decision-making. So, adapt to change. I will not give the example because Mama L.E.A.D.E.R.S, how will I? Ma'am La Salita gave a lot of experience and situation in her slide. So adapted to change, healthcare environment constantly change due to new policies, technologies, and patient care practices. Resilient nurse leaders adapt quickly and help their teams transition smoothly. Okay? So, building resilience. Ito, binigay ko na lahat sa inyo ang tip ha, maging EQ, maging resilience, maging leader. Ito naman, resilience in leadership. So, building resilience, emotional regulation. So, it's the ability to manage emotion effectively, especially during stressful or challenging situation. Resilient nurse leaders can remain calm, professional, and focused even when facing pressure, conflict, or emergencies. Controlling emotion helps leaders make better decisions and maintain supportive environment for both staff and patient. Positive mindset. So having a positive mindset helps leaders remain hopeful and motivated despite setbacks. Positive nurse leaders encourage teamwork, inspire confidence, and focus on opportunities for improvement rather than dwelling on problems. So optimism can influence staff morale and create healthier workplace environment. Okay, I will not give you a much example on this. So, learning from failure. Ito yung isa sa paborito ko dito sa tatlong ito. So, learning from failure. Resilience leader view mistakes and setback on opportunities for growth and learning rather than reason to give up. Reflecting on experience helps improve future performance and strengthen leadership skills. So, importante dito yung communication na more na emphasize ng ating first speaker. Communication error affects patient care coordination. The nurses leader review what happened with the team, identifies areas for improvement, and implement better communication strategies to prevent similar incidents in the future. You know, during my CI days, I always tell to my student, learn from your experience but not learn from your mistakes. Pag kayo'y nagkamali, tatayo kayo at ipakikita nyo kaya nyong tumayo kung kayo'y magkamali. Pero as a nurse, hindi kayo pwedeng magkamali dahil magkamali kayo ng bigay ng gamot. Wala lang naman, patay lang naman. May side effect, patay ang ating pasyente. Okay? So learn from your experience, not learn from your mistake, but stand up when you make a mistakes. Okay? Ang tagumpay ng isang tao ay nakikita sa dami ng pagkadapa niya at kung paano niya napagtanggupayan, ang Tagalog ko, naging tagumpay sa pagtayo niya at naging success siya. Yun lang ang tatandaan niyo. Okay? So, next slide please is vulnerability and strength. So, effective leaders help build trust, respect, and open communication among team members. Leaders who demonstrate empathy, emotion, intelligence, and support and create stronger professional relationship within the workplace. Strong relationship improve collaboration and create more positive work environment. Better teamwork. Strong leadership encourages cooperation, accountability. I would like to add transparency and collaboration among healthcare professionals. When leaders promote teamwork, staff nurses feel more comfortable working together, sharing responsibilities, and supporting, among others, patient care. And then higher engagement. Higher engagement, employees are more motivated and committed when they feel valued, heard, and supported by their leaders. And engaged staff nurses are more likely to contribute the ideas and participate actively and remain dedicated to providing quality patient care. So improve performance. So positive leadership directly influence individual and team performance. Supportive leaders help staff develop confidence, improve skills, and maintain high standards of care, leading to better patient outcomes and organizational success. Last slide, please, I think. Lead smart, feel smart, make decision with your head. So let me leave this quote. So the people will forget what you said, but they will never forget how you made them feel. And I think, as president of MCNAP, my slide please, ma'am. So I would like to invite everyone. I have this webinar. This is only half day. I know you students. Don't you know that during my time being the president of MCNAP, I will be invited by this reviewer, this review center. Ma'am, be the final. I will not mention you on this, but because I have a lot of tips when it comes to maternal and child questions. Bakit? Because most of my topic, malay mo, baka recommend ako, ma'am, baka gusto mo mag-update. AI na ngayon, baka by the time lumabas sa board exam nyo, I will give you. Our speaker in this MCN updates, technology, immunization, ibinibigay yan. Lactation, and maternal child care. Isa sa pinakamahirap, ma'am, na board exam is OB-pedia. Okay? So, Attorney Michael De La Peña is our, she's a nurse, NICU nurse in St. Luke's Global, Artificial Intelligence Application in MCN, and Dr. Anthony Calibo, the head of DOH, they will give about what is the updates in maternal and pediatric immunization. Definitely, baka mabigay sa inyo. Dr. Cornelio, an advanced nurse lactation specialist, and Miss Solita Sibayan, a lactation nurse specialist. I will request, sir, paatinin mo naman ang iyong mga bata. It's only 500 pesos, and I would like to invite, syempre, ang mga faculty nyo to be a member of MCNAP. Okay? So, next slide, please. And I think that is my reference. And then, sir, may request ako. Pwede ba ako may imbitahin? Slide lang. 5 minutes. Okay lang? Ha? Video lang? Sir, okay lang po ba sa'yo? Will you allow me? Okay lang. Thank you, mga anak. Sir, alam mo, yung mga kabataan ngayon, yun din ang isang nuggets ko sa information ng mga chief nurses at saka mga school. Ma'am, pagka-graduate ngayon ng mga nurses, board exam, mag-e-NCLEX. Actually, sorry, we have a partner to make it sure your success on this. It's only 5 to kasi sabi nga ng mga chief nurses, ma'am, kasi po, yung aming mga nurse magli-leave kasi nagre-review ng NCLEX. Tama ba? Usually, lumalabas ngayon, pagka-graduate, with my 32 chapter, as I have told you, most of them, kukuha sila ng yung mga nurses nila, hindi muna magwo-work. Magre-review muna ng NCLEX. So what we did is, our partner is a UST graduate. Are you UST graduate? UST? Tomasian pala siya, si ma'am. Siya ay, siyempre, I am not endorsing, but I am encouraging you to go on this aspect. Sorry, grounded, okay? Sorry po, only 5 minutes. I know we are, what you call this, on the YouTube. Tama ba? Napaka-sikat naman ng ibang klase PWU, no? Nasa YouTube ba tayo? Hi, hello to my, ganun ba? Hi, hello to my 32 chapters of MC na, sabay ganun. Actually, I have also, go ahead. Sige. Thank you. By the way, JC Florencio is from Anaheim. Thank you, sir.
Good morning. Thank you, ma'am. Good morning. By the way, I am JC together with Hannah Balad. We're from Anaheim International Healthcare Training and Consultancy. We offer Review Center. By the way, this is a glimpse who we are, what we offer, and soon to be your future nurse from PH to USRN. So take a look at it. By the way, Hannah will be giving away flyers lang for your reference. Let's play.
Thank you, JC.
Studied for years, you passed the Philippine board, you gave everything to nursing. But there is one exam, one license, that changes everything. The NCLEX, and we are here to make sure you pass it. We are Anaheim International Healthcare Training and Consultancy. Since 2023, our mission has been clear, to transform NCLEX learning into lasting clinical confidence. Not just to help you pass an exam, but to build the kind of nurse that U.S. hospitals trust from day one. From the moment you enroll, to the moment you land your first U.S. assignment, we are with you. Everything we do at I3 is built on 3 principles. Innovative, we prepare you for the NCLEX that exists today. The next generation NCLEX, not the version from 5 years ago. Interactive, you don't sit and listen. You think, you decide, you debate. You practice the way the exam will test you. Intensive. Every session is designed to stretch your clinical judgment, because the NCLEX doesn't reward recall, it rewards thinking. Our program runs on Learn-Upon. From the moment you enroll, your complete study roadmap is waiting for you. Modules, video lessons, practice tests, and your personal progress dashboard, all of it accessible on any device, at any time, from anywhere in the world. Working the night shift, study in the morning, day shift, study at midnight. Your NCLEX preparation fits your life, not the other way around. Let me show you more about Learn-Upon.
Hello and welcome, learners, to Chapter 8 of Medical Surgical 2 of the Hematologic System. I am excited to be with you today, so let's start. This module is licensed to Skyline Consultation Corporation and to A&L Health Solutions and Consultants, and it is created and produced by VSK Healthcare. Before we start in this module, we have a final reminder in the next page. Let's proceed. Warning. All material is protected by federal copyright. Unauthorized use and/or duplication of this material without express and written permission from VSK Healthcare is prohibited. Welcome to our lesson on disseminated intravascular coagulation, or DIC. The central idea is that DIC is not a simple bleeding disorder. It is a consumptive coagulopathy. The body forms widespread microclots, uses up platelets and clotting factors, and then begins to bleed. The NCLEX focus is safety, prioritization, recognition of lab patterns, organ perfusion, and teaching. As you move through the presentation, pay attention to the priority language: airway, breathing, circulation, perfusion, treating the underlying cause, and monitoring for bleeding and organ failure.
Who teaches you matters. Our instructors are not just educators, they are actively practicing nurses. In U.S. clinical settings, ICU nurses, ER nurses, pediatric specialists, mental health, and med-surg experts. That is what separates I3 from every other review program you will see.
Kind of when I teach this class, although it has a rationale, sometimes it's not clear or it doesn't have the full rationale. But when I teach it, I always like to give example because some of the answers are right? But which ones are the best? And maybe it's the right one for a different type of classification. So this is how we teach it to kind of help you pass that NCLEX.
One tool separates passers from retakers: UWorld, the #1 NCLEX question bank in the world, fully integrated into every I3 program. It doesn't just test you, it teaches you why building the clinical judgment the next-gen NCLEX actually measures. When your UWorld scores are strong, you're ready. The next-gen NCLEX tests one thing: clinical judgment. 6 skills. Every question: recognize, analyze, prioritize. Generate, act, evaluate. In every I3 session, we run real patient scenarios. Through this exact process, you don't memorize the steps, you think in them.
Here in the Philippines, due to the nurse-patient ratio, some of the symptoms are sometimes overlooked because of the workload, and it often leads to patients suffering and worse is even dying. That's why use of Muse and new scoring parameters will lead to a time-efficient assessment and better decision-making that will extend the critical window needed to save the patient.
It made me realize that nursing readiness means correctly assessing the patient, thinking critically, and acting promptly, not just mainly following the doctor's order. It reinforced my responsibility to have my own judgment, especially in emergency cases, and provide safe and quality patient care.
We learned practical and useful techniques in patient management and handling real-life scenarios. The session was engaging and truly enhanced our knowledge and confidence. We are very thankful and grateful for this valuable learning experience.
During the interactive case scenario, each group were given a specific case, and the case that was assigned to us was pulmonary edema. Dr. Na was with us during the whole process, and he helped us digest the case correctly and effectively in terms of managing the patient, the correct interventions and assessment to be able to save our patient.
I was also strong. Yes po, I was able to apply the concepts po, especially po yung Muse and the Muse tool, which is yung Modified Early Warning Sign and yung National Early Warning Score 2. Since very useful po siya when it comes to clinical area, and it is useful palagi to monitor the patient's condition when they are under our care. And also to analyze na din po the problem to be able to render the proper and appropriate care and interventions in line po with the patient's field.
They created an environment where we felt valued, supported, and encouraged to participate.
When you choose I3NG NCLEX Made Easy, you are not just choosing a review program, you are choosing a world-class learning platform. US-based clinical instructors, UWorld, the best question bank in the world. And a framework built on clinical judgment, the exact skill the NCLEX tests. We are I3NG NCLEX Made Easy, and we are your best choice.
Okay, thank you so much for listening. Okay. Actually, may partners silang mga hospital, even here in of course, as a nursing leader, I will not encourage you immediately to leave the Philippines. You have to serve the Philippines first. And well, it takes time naman po talaga naman para ma-process yung inyong application. And I think that's all. Thank you so much, sir, mga ma'am. Thank you for giving this opportunity. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ma'am Balbina and Borneo, for giving your wisdom and sharing your wisdom, experiences, and highlighting the set of skills that is necessary for being a leader. Okay, let us give another round of applause for our guest speaker, Ma'am Balbina Borneo. Wow, just wow. I have really learned a lot from our two guest speakers. No, I have really gained a lot, especially with regards to how important it is to become adaptive as a leader, and also with the set of skills shared by Ma'am Bambi, it is necessary for us as future nurses. How about you, Ma'am Z?
For me, super tumatak talaga na IQ or intelligence is just a basis. The most important is yung EQ, which is yung minention ni Ma'am kanina, yung mga 5 core components of EQ, yung self-awareness, self-regulation, internal motivation, empathy, which is yung heart of the leadership, and also yung social skills. Like without all those, you can't be a good leader, or you can't lead in an organization.
Right. So why don't we hear from our audiences? Ate Z, let's now open the floor for our audiences. Go.
Okay, we will now open the floor for an open forum. We will be accommodating 1 questions for each speaker only. If you would like to ask questions, please raise your hand, stand in front of the stage, state your name and section to be acknowledged. So, anyone po na may question, just raise your hand.
So, good morning po. I am Rian Ginoma from... I'm Rian Ginoma from Level 3, Section 1 po. So, this is a question for Miss L.E.A.D.E.R.S Lazalita po. Hi, ma'am. So,
Hello.
First po, I want to thank you for sharing with us your profound knowledge about this topic po. So, I believe po this room is filled with smart and skillful people, but some doubts their leadership capabilities. So my question is, what advice or message would you give for us students who doubts our ability to lead? That's all, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you for the question. And again, I would like to thank you again for this opportunity. By the way, this is my first time here in Philippine Women's University. It's really an honor to share to you my experiences, and as nurse educator, I believe that's part of the formation that students are into. The main concern is, will I be enough, or will I be capable? And can I do this, right? So even if, and I felt the same, even if I graduated with 4 years of preparation, on my first day, still I mentioned to myself, kaya ko ba? Parang, gusto ko bang maging nurse? I still want this job because even after graduation and having the preparation, I feel, and students feel, that's a valid feeling. You feel it's not enough. So what I've learned from that doubts is just to step back and look around and trust what you have gained from your training, from your mentors, from the education that you had, from the experience, and then look around on how you can contribute on a one at a time. So that's the first step. So look around, and I think the very first thing you can do is to introduce yourself and start engaging with your patient. So, and introduce yourself. Hi, I'm Arnie. I'm here to take care of you. How are you? And I think that will build your confidence. The doubts, as soon as your patient sees you, felt you, and my nurse is there, that will build your confidence. So that's the first thing I have learned. Another is you have to set structure. As I said, structure helps. You have to know your work, what you can do, what things you are not aware of. You ask questions from your supervisors, from your charge nurses, and learn from it. And then another, you can also read. So have some notes. I have kept my lecture notes. Even at work, I have that with me. When I have doubts with a skill, I go back to my notes. That's okay. You're lucky because you have phones with you. Google is there to guide you right away. But your notes helps you out, so I carry them with me. And again, doubts are there. It will never be out. It will always be part of our daily activities as nurse, because we are in a complex environment. People will push us to our limit. People will test us, our confidence. So what matters when you have doubt, start with stating something positive. I am prepared for this. I am a graduate of Philippine Women's University. My teachers have prepared me well for this. I can do this. So I think that helps. So thank you.
Thank you, Ma'am La Arnie. Now, another from our audience for our Ma'am Bambi. Another one from the audience. Yes, Ate Dani.
Hi, again, my name is Christine Danica. Oh, there's a problem with the mic. Let me just hold it. Again, my name is Christine Danica Elocampo, and my question is actually for the both of our speakers. First, let me express my gratitude because I've listened both of your messages and I was really motivated. I really look up to you both because of your credentials, not only your credentials, but as you shared your message, it's really inspiring, especially to us incoming nurses. So my question is, because there's no doubt that both of you are successful in the career. My question is, looking back, can you share to us your most challenging moment as leaders, and how were you able to overcome that challenge, and that lead you to what you are and where you are right now?
Wow, that is a very difficult question to look back on how we have gone far from our profession and up to this date. I think one of the most challenging I can recall is starting my day, my work in choosing to be a nurse. That's the hardest, because choosing to be a nurse in the Philippines, I think that's the most difficult, because there are a lot of opportunities for us, but looking at how we are needed by our the community, the people, yung mga kapwa nating Pinoy, it seems like choosing to be here despite all the opportunities keeps us more grounded and more grateful. Having our family with us and being able to work despite limited compensation, but the PNA is working about that now, and you're lucky to experience that. But choosing to be a nurse every day, despite the difficulty, the stigma, the acceptance of kapwa Pinoy, we are labeled as assistant ng doktor or taga-change ng diaper. well, we want to prove them we are more than that. So, and beyond those years, we have proven our stance globally, not only in the Philippines, we have proven how capable we are as nurses. So I think that's one. And the transition from BSN and choosing to advance, that's also difficult because you also have to be starting your own family. Of course, that will be very boring if you choose to study all the time. So when you choose to advance, that's more difficult too. When you choose to, or when you're encountering people who will be limiting you to your opportunities and growth. So that's why you have to be very keen if in assessing, will I stay in this institution? Am I growing in this institution? Or there's more to learn? So when you choose to be in different institutions to keep you growing, that's also difficult. A difficult decision to make, especially with my age. I cannot make mistakes now. I have to be more advanced. I have to be more futuristic in my decisions. Is this a good plan for me? Will it help me out, or will it make me grow or be limited from the opportunity? So I think that's the hardest, going through your path, choosing to be here, and being mindful of your identity as a Filipino nurse, as a PWU graduate. That's what you hold on to, the values you learn from your training, your models. I think that's one thing that keeps us surviving and thriving every day. So, yun po.
Naku, aabutin yata tayo ng Lance. Congratulations, Iha, for that intelligent question. And asking me about that, what is the most challenging, parang nakasalalay sa edad ko, sa position ko, ang isi-share ko sa inyo. But I understand where you are coming from, being the students, and ano ba ang gusto kong gawin o saan ako magpa-practice, ano ang gusto kong gawin, magwo-work ba ako, gusto ko bang maging leader, gusto ko bang pumunta sa ganitong institution, dito ako magwo-work, o magiging nanay na lang ako. Now, I would like to share with you with my experience to my students. Isa sa pinakamahirap na handlein as a CI, ewan ko lang sa mga CI nyo, ako being CI o bilang nanay ng aking mga estudyante, hindi ko alam kung paano ko isasaksak sa isip nila kung anong laman meron ako being a CI in the delivery room, in the neonatal, in nursery, before me nursery pa, pero ngayon NICU na, right? Pinakamahirap sa akin, ma'am, ay yung ICU nurse din ako, ICU CI. You know, kayong mga estudyante, dapat lagi niyong titingnan yung experience yo. Experience ko, ma'am, sabi ng mga estudyante ko, kung paano ko i-integrate, ipapakisama yung aking mga estudyante sa institution at kung paano ang lahat ng kanyang nalalaman ko, ibibigay ko sa experience niya sa institution na yun as a CI1. Okay? So ngayon pa lang, dapat alam nyo na yung gusto nyong tahakin. Pinakamahirap ang maternal and child pediatric nurse ka. Pinakamagaling kami. Kesa sa ICU, kesa sa OR, siyempre, akin yun eh. Why? Because we are handling babies. Kaya nyo bang tanungin yung ano nyo? Kasi yung aking mga estudyante, sasabihin ko, if there is a 5 senses that you wanted to learn, 6 senses, Tanungin nyo nga yung NICU, may masakit ba sa'yo? It's true crying. So, kailangan magaling ka. Pag umiyak, high-pitched cry, neurological. If there is a cry that matining, natusok, nasaktan, and etc. Hindi ko makakalimutan estudyante ko sa ano nito, sa DR. Ma'am, Doc, kailangan pag-handlein mo ang estudyante ko. Imagine yung estudyante kong mag-handle na takot pala sa dugo. Ma'am, mahihilo ako na nakakita ng dugo. Sabay tumba sa akin. My God, that is one of the most challenging for me. Kung paano mo i-emphasize, napaka-importante ang matutunan nyo yung ganito, yung tolerance ninyo, ito yung learning experience nyo. Next is a dean. Pinakamahirap ang maging dean. Na-experience ko yan. Kung paano ka pipili ng magaling na CI, kung paano mo ang iyong CI magiging parallel understanding. Ang CI hindi nadadaan yan, sa galing nadadaan yan, kung paano bababa ang isang faculty sa kanyang estudyante. That is the most challenging. Pero ang mga CI kasi, yan, siyempre magagaling yan eh. Lahat ipapakilala, eto ako eh. Yun ako. Yung how you will, lahat yung inilecture ko sa inyo na experience ko yun. And take note, as a president, as a nursing leader, isa sa pinakamahirap mag-handle ng tao. That is the most challenging. Ang handlein mo ang board of trustee mo na lahat magagaling, naging dean, expert with this, kaya kailangan expert ka rin. So yun. And the most challenging with my position as physician liaison officer, ang maging direct ka sa president to the owner. Pinakamahirap pag president. Kaya magbibiroan kami doon sa Office of the President. Total President ka, Madam President, President, alam niya kasi President ako ng MSNAP. Napakahirap dahil mahirap makipag-deal sa matalino. Kailangan full of research ka. So kailangan ngayon pa lang is research. Yun, kung paano, isa sa pinakamahirap sa akin, mag-handle ng tao. Handling students is a handling people. Handling CI as a leader, as a dean, is really hard. So those are the challenges. So far naman, hindi merong mga bagay. Marami na akong prinsipyo na nabali. Kung kailangan you have to go down, meet between the two conflicts, you have to do it. So yun, hindi ko pa, ang pinakamahirap sa akin as President of Asia Pacific Pediatric, bakit? Meron akong Hong Kong, China, Japan, Thailand, Indonesia. Communication pa lang, hindi ako marunong mag-Chinese. Alam nyo, minsan oo lang ako ng oo. Pero sa totoo lang, hindi ko naintindihan dialect, yung pinaka-language barriers. Pinakamahirap maging president ka. So, because you handle people. The most difficult and challenging is you have to handle with different kind of people, different personalities. I think, did I answer it? Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So that concludes our open forum. Thank you to everyone who asked thoughtful questions. Also to Ma'am L.E.A.D.E.R.S and Ma'am Bambi who answer questions based on your experiences po. And I think that those answers po is really helpful for us all po. So,
and I think that's it. Thank you again to everyone who participated in our open forum. We will now move on to the presentation of the certificates for our two guest speakers, including a quick photo opportunity with them.
So may we call on Mr. Ron D. Abalada, Professor of Nursing, Leadership and Management, to present the certificates to our respective speakers. And to receive the certificate, may we welcome again our two guest speakers, Ma'am L.E.A.D.E.R.S M. Lazalita and Ma'am Balbina M. Borneo.
I think we will start with Ma'am L.E.A.D.E.R.S. This certificate is a small token of our immense gratitude for sharing your time, expertise, and inspiration with us today. Thank you, Ma'am L.E.A.D.E.R.S. Next, may we have in front Ma'am Balbina M. Borneo. And to provide the certificates, may we call on again Mr. Ron D. Abeleda. This certificate is a small token of our immense gratitude for sharing your time, expertise, and inspiration with us today. Your dedication to shaping the next generation of Filipino nurses have truly left a mark for all of us. Thank you, Ma'am Bambi.
Guilt ka natin.
Sino yung nag-opening at saka nag-close? Sir? December month open. And ikaw yung nag-opening. Ma'am, saglit lang po. Sino yung mag-close? Si Ate Marie. Both of you. They are the ones who's responsible for this. They are the students responsible. They are the leaders. They actually yun nga sasabihin. Yes po.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. So I think we
Mamaya mag-picture na po.
Ma'am, mamaya na po yung
okay. Okay.
So once again, let's have a round of applause for Ma'am L.E.A.D.E.R.S M. Lazalita and Ma'am Balbina Borneo.
Thank you, everyone. Finally, before this seminar ends, may we invite in front the overall head for the class of NG 301, Ms. Marie Chris Backing, to provide her closing remarks.
Before we close this segment, allow me to express our heartfelt gratitude on behalf of Philippine Women's University School of Nursing Level 3 students. To our first speaker, Ma'am L.E.A.D.E.R.S Lazalita, thank you for sharing your valuable insights on adaptive leadership. Your discussion highlighted the importance of emotional intelligence, character, organizational justice, and effective problem solving in meeting the demands of today's healthcare environment. You remind us that the vital role nurse leaders play in fostering respect, professionalism, and collaboration. To our second speaker, Ma'am Balbina Borneo, thank you for sharing your experience, wisdom, and encouragement with us. Your discussion reminds us that emotional intelligence is essential in leadership, and that true leadership is not defined by authority alone, but by one's influence, impact, and ability to inspire others toward meaningful change. You also remind us that the importance of resilience, not simply learning from mistakes,
but learning from experience and having the strength to rise again after challenges. We would also like to extend our sincere gratitude to our leadership, Professor Sir Ron Abeleda, for giving us the opportunity to organize and execute this seminar. To our fellow Level 3 students, organizers, and committees, thank you for the effort, teamwork, and commitment you poured into making this seminar possible. May today's seminar lead smart, feel smart, building leaders from the inside out, continue to inspire us to become emotionally aware, compassionate, resilient, and empowered nurse leaders in the future. Once again, thank you everyone, and let us give us our speakers one final round of applause.
Thank you, Ms. Maricris Baking. As we reach the end of this seminar, let us all stand together as we sing with heart the Philippine Women's University hymn.
May I request everyone to please sit down for a moment? Okay. Before everyone leaves this venue, may we request each of you to please scan the QR code presented to the screen for post-evaluation of this event. Tapos sabi ni Sir, huwag daw munang paalisin kasi dito daw muna stay for picture.
And while answering the evaluation form, just a gentle reminder to please leave your seats neat and clean. But before we leave, may I request everyone na mag-picture taking po muna after answering the evaluation po.
Mag-e-end pa ba tayo? End na tayo mamaya. Mag-e-end pa ba tayo? Wag na. The after photo opportunity. Photo opportunity. Okay. Is everyone have already done with the QR code and post evaluation?